Fabulous. Welcome everybody to the March 26th practitioner video call. It is so great to have all of you here with us. We're gonna have a great call today. We've got a wonderful story from the heart from Ashley. We've got some content about being consistent and the secret to success. But we're going to start out with Keith leading us a little meditation, kind of get us in the mood. Are you ready to do that?
Anytime.
Well, now is a good time, I think.
All
Take
right.
it away.
Close your eyes, please. Invite the energy of support up from the Mother Earth. From the one who gives you a planet and air and food so that you could have a physical body here. This is the energy version of that support. Through the bottoms of your feet and your root. And in your root, experience it as belonging. We are all supporting each other. You need a planet so you can do what you came here to do. And this support is the beginning of the life force energy in one of its farthest expansions called the Kundalini that rises up in the body belonging in the root. Now, I know the root is classically instinctive, survival, tribal. But if you're part of a tribe, you belong. And this is the gentler way to look at the root chakra energy. As rooted, partnered with something. From the root, let it rise to the second chakra, the sacral. Creativity and sexuality for bringing new magic into this world and having fun doing it. And whether your second chakra is overused or shut down, invite this energy to assist you there. In whatever way you need. And then bring it up to the third chakra, the solar plexus, for power, will, the ability to do what you want to do, when you want to do it. And let it fill your solar plexus and your belly with supportive energy right under the heart. Supporting the heart chakra. Helping the heart to feel safer. To do all its upward connecting with a foundation of support. Going to build a tall building? Start with a good foundation. As the support reaches the heart, establish two-way street, a circular flow of Power supports love. Power supports the heart. Love, the heart guides the power. Power supports love. Love guides power. Power supports love. Love guides power. A two-way street, a mutual circular feedback flow. So that you will experience that your own power is safer to have because it's guided by your own heart level knowing. Power supports love. Love guides power. Power supports love. Love guides power. And this partnership will spread upward one step to the throat, where you let who you are and what you do out into the world. So the creativity is second chakra, but letting it out into reality is throat chakra. With the power and the love right between them. Now with this throat chakra, fifth chakra, a little bit more aligned and integrated with all the ones below it. Ask the crown, the seventh chakra, to begin receiving from creation, oneness, source, your own light body in its oneness. Whatever you need to move into you and all the way down to the heart. Let it first open, activate, bless the sixth chakra, third eye, both the brow center, the pineal gland in the middle of the brain, and the moon center, and the little dent right in the back at the base of the skull that is the feminine receptive, receiving part of the third eye, as the brow center is the masculine projecting, penetrating, going, and getting the knowing part of the third eye. And let this energy from above and below help your third eye. The brow center, the moon center, and the pineal to connect together in one channel of light. And take a step in opening together in one channel of light. And as the energy continues to come in through your crown, let it move through the throat and fill the heart, joining the earth energy. And as we connect, as speaking in archetypal terms, the terrestrial mother and the cosmic father make love in your heart, connecting as they can only connect through a sentient being. Heaven and earth being brought together. Let the loving of their connection expand through you as the children of their loving go running around in your body wherever you need healing. The children of the loving of the mother and the father, the terrestrial and the cosmos, uniting, loving. And as the children fill your body and you can hold no more, let them flow out into the world. Like the glow meditation. Here, you are in a pillar of light. from the center of the earth out into the cosmos. And the two energies coming together overflow from you, blessing anything you want to bless, going anywhere you want to go. Overflowing from you, gifting, blessing, joining the highest self, highest good of any idea, project, business, of anyone you love, of any situation you care about, anywhere in the world. Distance and even time are irrelevant. So as with the glow meditation, you are bringing in energy from higher levels and anchoring it into this level. Many higher beings in their channeled works say, this is how the world will be changed. As more and more of us choose to bring in higher energy and anchor it into this dimension, the energy in this dimension will go up and will be more available to anyone who chooses to connect to it. So overflow with the blessing that you came here to be. Gift this reality with yourself. Know that whatever you're excited about giving to or blessing is what you're being guided to assist. Fill your personal interests, projects, ideas, business with this light. Gift the consciousness behind the form or idea with this blessing. Give the consciousness behind your idea, project, or business access to this light so you can both have more fun. Imagine a pillar of light around you as wide as your shoulders. And let this pillar of light begin, like a tree does, fountaining energy into this world, connecting earth with the roots to the cosmos through the leaves. Allowing earth, right where you are, to clear. allowing the place you are to clear, the building you're in to clear, the place where you're sitting to clear. Now, expand this pillar of light to the size of the space that you're in. The building, the property, and invite anyone in this who wishes to do so to join this energy on whatever level they choose and contribute to the flow. Ask that this energy bless anyone within this area who wishes to receive on whatever level, and invite them to contribute, again, to their choice. Now expand the column of light to the size of the neighborhood that you are in. Again, fountaining energy to everyone within it, inviting them to receive whatever they will and contribute whatever they would. Expand it again to the size of the town or city where you are. Again, including everyone. Gifting all and inviting anyone to join us who would choose to step in and be part of the fountain. And then expand it to the size of the county or the province where you are. If you're here in Guatemala, the departamento. Gifting all within this area and welcoming anyone on any level to join and contribute to the blessing. Once again, expand it to the size of the country where you presently are. Blessing everyone within, offering them whatever they would receive and inviting them to join. And once again, expand it to the entire region where you are. If that would be Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia, if that would be Europe, if that would be the US, Canada, and Mexico, to that entire part of the world. A huge column of light, becoming a beacon of light out into the universe, being seen by other dimensional beings, welcoming them to come and be part of what is happening here. Again, bless all within it and invite an even bigger party. And one more step. Put the entire planet as a glowing, radiant fountain in all directions. An overflowing of light from the center of the earth up and out, connecting to the cosmos and raining on everyone. blessing all, inviting them to receive what they will, and welcoming them to join in our party. Let us all together just radiate as the planet herself does. And then bring the pillar of light back to the region that you're in, to the Europe, to the US, Canada, and Mexico, to the Australia, New Zealand, and the islands. Saying thank you to all those people. And again, back to the size of the country where you are. Blessing all, thanking all for their contribution. And again, back to the size of the state or the province. Say goodbye to everyone who joined. Thank them. And again, bring it back to the size of the county, department, where you are. Welcoming, thanking, blessing, and once again back to the size of the town in which you presently are. And then again, back to the size of the neighborhood, and back to the size of the house or property. Now, if the place that you are is a place that you live or you often are, fine. Or if it's somewhere else you would like to do this, direct it there. Leave this pillar of light as a permanent fixture. The size of the living space where you are or where you would like to leave it. Intend, direct that this from the earth out into the other dimensions with energy coming from both directions and overflowing from the middle, the human heart. 3 chakras above, 3 below. Intend that this pillar of light be a permanent fixture wherever you'd like it to be. You can do this meditation with yourself or others from time to time and reinforce it as we occasionally do on the porch. So that this fountain is a blessing to the personal space where you like to have it, where you work or live, or both. Now come back once again to just you, sitting in a column, a pillar of multidimensional energy, bringing heaven and earth together in a way they cannot connect without the permission of a sentient being. because this is a free will universe and it needs our free will to do so. Now, to use a conception from one of my teachers, Lazarus, imagine that the leading edge of the earth consciousness is the consciousness awakening within crystals. And imagine that the leading edge of the cosmic consciousness are all of the multidimensional beings from many levels, including ETs, that are here assisting this planet. They are the leading edge of the cosmic consciousness. And all of us, in every culture, every religion, every country, all over the world, who are allowing the awakening, we are the leading edge of the human consciousness. And all three of us are coming together in oneness. The consciousness awakening in crystals, the consciousness of the higher beings who are here to assist, and the consciousness of those of us choosing to awaken. All coming together, working together, partnering together. Into this reality of a deeper partnership between heaven and earth and human beings. Let your higher self select for you a parallel reality, a parallel universe where you are more connected to both heaven and earth and in a deeper level of partnership. And we're going to do a little parallel reality shift here. If you haven't watched our YouTube video, The Art of Ascension, that's okay. You can watch it later. And the way we do this is, now that your higher self has selected for you a reality where you are more connected and in a deeper partnership with both heaven and earth, breath in, take a full but gentle breath in. And let it out. And you're there. Many of you will feel the difference, especially those who are used to this technique. Feel yourself in a timeline shift, a parallel reality shift, a quantum jump. Those are the common names for it. Where you are a little bit more aligned with this heaven, earth, and human partnership. All of us working together in the same agreement, the same purpose. Open your eyes. Hi, everybody.
Thank you, Keith. That was wonderful. You got a name for that meditation? You call it the Fountain of Light? What do you call that one?
I have no idea. I mean, it's sort of an expanded version of a meditation that's out there in a lot of different forms called the Pillar of Light.
I had the good fortune a few weeks ago of getting to hear you walk us through that meditation on the porch. It's fantastic.
And so we always manage to play with it a little differently every time. I'll just, for the moment, I'll throw it open to anybody has any questions or something about that, about what we just did, or something that didn't make any sense to you. I don't know, whatever. Just jump in. Okay, I guess not.
No
That's all right.
question. Well, it's, I don't know what the question would be. Do it again, something like that.
Well, that's what your replay is for. Ha.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. Thank you very much. It is greatly appreciated and always feels good to get to go somewhere deeper with all of you. I never would have believed that connecting in this fashion via video conference could be this powerful, but it really is, and it's magical.
Well, Rick, in the 90s, I learned that digital media is totally transparent to energies.
Good to know.
Absolutely, totally transparent to energies. No problem whatsoever. Thousands and thousands of miles or kilometers, no problem.
An amazing thing for all of us to understand.
All right.
Anybody has guests or clients anywhere in the world, you know that you can be helping them and you don't have to live next door. Keith, if we've got your permission, we'll go to the next part of the program, unless you have something else.
I do.
Please.
I have another meditation. This is a Lazarus meditation, slightly adapted, but not very much. That is a chakra upgrade to help take everyone to another level. And I'll throw it out there. Would you like to do it?
Everybody want to do a meditation? Hey, all right, let's do another one.
All right. Again, close your eyes. And I'll run through a very brief description. We are now calling in your higher self and your guides, your unseen friends, your team, your working group, your true spiritual family. Lots of names for it. And they are going to call in specialists. There are, this was something that my teachers presented me with, there are specialists, there are beings that don't work with people. They work with certain issues or configurations of energy, wherever those happen. So you might work with them and never work with them again in your entire life. So they're no one's guides. They are specialists in a certain energy configuration, and they're going to come in for what we're going to do here. And this is a basic process. We're going to start at the root and have everything under the supervision of your own higher self. And with the help of your guides and the specialists, we will remove from your body one chakra, one energy center at a time. It will be taken into another dimension outside of our experience of lineal time and space, so that the beings working with you will have all the time they need, however much that is, to work with your chakra to make we joked about it. If you're in a female body, your chakra is going to get a makeover. If you're in a male body, it's going to get a tune-up, okay? So it'll be taken into another dimension. They'll have all the time they need to work on it, and then we'll bring it right back and integrate it into you in its upgraded form. All right, that's the pattern. So inside we go, beginning with the root chakra. Ask your team to remove energetically your root chakra from you and take it within you or outside of you, however you experience it, into another dimension where they can have all the time they need to make the adjustments that your higher self directs are to your highest good in this right here, right now. And now that it's completed, bring it back, integrate it into you, and allow it to open into a new balance and alignment with the other parts of you. Now, second chakra, sacral. Ask that it be removed from you, taken into another dimension, where outside of our understanding of lineal time, they have all the time they need, and then returned and integrated into you, so that you can have a second chakra adjusted and all spiffed up, and allow it to integrate and align. And then third chakra, solar plexus. Out it goes into another area of time and space to be worked on. Everything that your power center needs. And now back it comes, entering into our now, integrating into you, and opening into a new balance and alignment with your other energy centers. And now go to the crown chakra, the seventh. And let your crown chakra be removed. Taken into this healing dimension, given everything it needs, whether that's a little bit or a whole lot. And in our time, returned right now, integrated back in to the top of your head, and allowed to open into its new alignment and balance. Now in the third eye, sixth chakra, let it be taken this other level. All the adjustments you need made, all the upgrades you're ready to have done, and now returned, reintegrated, and opening to its new alignment and balance with your other energy centers. And now the fifth chakra, the throat. Again, let it be removed and loved up at another level. Back comes exactly what you need right here, right now. It integrates into you, reaches for its new balance and alignment with your whole body energy. And finally, to your heart chakra. Let it, now that you've built a little trust in this process, be removed into that other dimension to get exactly what you are ready for. And then returned in this now with just what you need. And it can integrate and align with the three below and the three chakras above into its new place at this center of your energy system. And now again, let's take a parallel reality shift to another dimension of time and space where your entire chakral system has taken even another step in its integration, alignment, and partnering together. So, deep, gentle breath in, please. Breathe in. Let it out. And you are there in that close by, but a completely different universe, where this new level, you've done all the work and it's fully integrated, understood, and in balance. So again, if you're not familiar with this technique of shifting, we've got two YouTube videos, one in English and one with Spanish subtitles up on YouTube, with lots of interviews of the kind of work we were doing about 2.5 years ago. All right. Mr. Rick, you're on.
Thank you very much for that as well, Keith. How's everybody feeling? Good? Fabulous. That's fabulous. I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm assuming everybody can see that. Fabulous. All right. So today we're going to walk through a few announcements. We're going to talk about the consistent secret to success in business school. We were going to talk about antioxidants, but we'll get to that on the next call. I need to do some more research on it. I ran into some stuff today that contradicted the whole entire thing I put together. So we'll get to the bottom of that. We're going to hear a lovely story from Ashley Jackson, story from the heart. And then we'll do some open question and answer with Keith. First announcements. Tuesday, April 16th at 1 p.m. Eastern will be Keith's very first global online cacao ceremony. This is a buy ticket event. It's going to be the first of its kind with our group. We're very excited about it. We've set this up to encourage practitioners to join us and to bring people from their community to the call. We're going to put the tickets on sale on the website later this week. And when that happens, you guys find somebody who wants to attend with you, use the discount code that you see here. And I'll post this for you in the group. And that person or you gets to come free, however you want to work it out. So 2 for the price of 1. We are going to do commission payouts early next week. The month and the quarter ends, I think, Sunday. Looking forward to that. There's more money than ever is pouring out of here into practitioners. That's fantastic. Keep it up. And I want to talk about CPID use, your Cacao Practitioner ID, being used when you make a purchase with the practitioner price. And so just as we've sort of reached epidemic level with this condition, I think we've discovered a way so that you don't have to worry about it anymore. And in fact, Kristen made a bunch of changes to the system today that should mean that even if you end up in your account by clicking on your CPID, it won't be in effect, and it'll save us a bunch of customer service. But we'll find out if we fixed it or not. Okay, so I often get asked, particularly by beginning practitioners, what is the one thing I would tell them to do that would help their business grow faster and get established? And I call this the consistent secret to success. Just like your personal yoga practice, your meditation practice, your hike in the woods practice for your own personal and spiritual growth, that requires that you show up for yourself, and it requires that you do it in a predictable and habitual manner. If you're not doing it habitually, you don't really have a practice. You have something you do from time to time, and there's a big difference. And it's super important that you think of your business like you think of your practice, and you treat it the same way. It's important for your growth as a business and as a business operator, and it's important for your customers. Specifically, customers all around the world want predictability. When you go to your favorite restaurant, you want that meal that you love there to be as good as it was the last time, and when it's not, you're disappointed. It's important to your customers that they know that they can rely on you, right? So creating predictability for your customers requires that you deliver your practice consistently. Consistency develops routines, builds momentum for both you and the customer. For both of you, it will create habits that become second nature. Of course, when I start talking about this, everybody wants to know, well, how can I be consistent with my business? For many of you who are based in one place, location is probably one of the most important. If you can arrange with the local yoga studio, the church that doesn't use a lot of their space every single day, any venue at all that you can secure and make your consistent base of operations will have likely the largest impact on your customers knowing that they can rely on you. The same day and time is also important. And for an example, Keith holds ceremony at his house in the same place twice a week at the same time without waiver, right? People know that they can count on showing up and that there will be ceremony there that day. Now, I'm not suggesting that consistency needs to mean that your style of event is always the same. We have many practitioners who do several different things with cacao, and that's fine. We're more looking for consistency in those efforts, right? So if you do cacao and meditation on Sundays, you do that on Sundays, you do it at the same place, you do it at the same time. If you do cacao with a static dance and it's every third Saturday, it's always every third Saturday. And then one of the most important things from a consistency standpoint to think about in your actual event is to repeat important content. Here on this call, Keith shared a modified version of a meditation that he has shared when I was on the porch recently. It reinforces what you have to say, and it helps your customers grow adapted to your message. It can be simple information, excuse me, it can be simple information like what your daily or weekly cacao practice is. Continually share that. That's good not only for your new customers, but it helps your customers grow familiar with who you are and what your core base messages are. And then through all of this, whenever you're consistent, you provide the best possible example of what true practice is for your customers. So benefits, we'll go over some of the things that I've just said. Being consistent creates predictability. It takes part of the guesswork out of your business for your customers. They don't have to ask questions like, is ceremony this Saturday or next Saturday? Is it on Tuesday? Are they open today? The kinds of questions that get in the way of modern society people. They're busy, they're distracted, they need what you have to offer them, they need your cacao in their life. And so you moving the date around all the time when you don't have to is a benefit to them. It's a key factor in creating repeat customers. And here's the secret about repeat customers and growing your business. Not only do they bring you consistent revenue and a consistent audience, they're the people who are going to introduce you to new customers. So this consistency becomes very important, not only in building with what you have, but in growing what you haven't reached yet. Just like your yoga practice or your meditation practice, a routine practice in your business is how you master your craft. This is so obvious, I almost didn't put it on here, but it's really very important. The more you share what you do, the more you will begin to truly embody it. And this is my favorite, and this is the thing that everybody forgets about. Consistency creates space for you. When you're no longer worried about when the ceremony is going to be, where the ceremony is going to be, you're able to focus on the more important factors, your own growth, creativity, and being able to spend more time in service to the people who need you. This is super important. If you are one of those people who is constantly struggling with where am I going to do this and when am I going to do this, trust me, when you eliminate that from your brain, you will open yourself up to tremendous new possibilities. I encourage all of you to get at least one element of consistency, location, day and time, things that you can repeat inside your ceremony. I encourage all of you to get that into your business and then add as many more of them as you can. If anybody has you've got a block about some element of this, or you've got some particular circumstance that's a struggle, I love trying to work to figure those things out with you. Please just reach out and give me a call. I can't see everybody right now, but if anybody has any questions about that or concerns or something they'd like to bring up from their specific situation, please unmute yourself and just speak up. All right, no questions on this. I am super thrilled to introduce those of you who don't know her to Ash Jackson. Ashling is a practitioner in New Zealand. Her company, Inner Vibrance, creates offerings for women who are experiencing transitional life stages, girl to woman, maiden to mother. She holds monthly women's circles, girl circles, and pregnancy circles. And I love this fun fact that she shared with me. Has a history of dance performance, including that as a Bollywood dancer. And I don't know if we're going to get to see me dancing tonight or not. But without further ado, I would like to introduce you all to Ashling Jackson. Ashling, please share your story from the heart with us.
Oh, hello, everybody. Thank you, Rick, for the introduction. And thank you, Keith, for those beautiful meditations. I'm still floating. And I have just had a full cup of cacao as well. So, woo. Yeah, so shall I just begin? Okay, cool. So I think I'll start where it all began, which was in Mexico in 2017. I spent about 7 months, myself, my husband, and my little boy, who was 1 at the time. We were living the life in Mexico, simple, tropical dream life. And while I was there, I guess cacao was crossing my path more and more. I became more aware of indigenous strains of cacao. My Mexican friend would bring cacao beans from the jungle for us to eat and feel the buzz and the energy from, and I got to learn a bit more about it. So I was intrigued to find out more, and cacao ceremonies were being mentioned, and I was really just wishing I could try it out. And then, of course, as soon as I started wishing that, about a week later, I saw a little flyer in a little health shop near the beach in La Punta, near Puerto Escondido, for a cacao ceremony the following Friday night. So I was like, yes, manifested, great. So I gathered a couple of friends together and we went along, and I was so excited. I just knew it was going to be something really special. And that was the night I got to meet Kristen and Tanner from Cacao Connection. It was their ceremony. So that was my very first experience with cacao, and meeting them as well. And that night was just, yeah, really amazing and kind of, I guess, a pivotal point in my journey. I loved everything about it. I loved the taste of cacao. I just loved everyone gathering in a circle and sharing so authentically with each other. There was a beautiful listening exercise that we did that you guys call relational presence. That was just beautiful, and I just wanted to do that. Like, I'm a school teacher, so I was like, I just want to do that in every classroom I teach in from now on. And then at the end of it, it was about 3.5 hours long. So we were just, yeah, floating. And by the end, we had this beautiful, long sound healing meditation. And Tanner came around with crystal bowls around us. And I had this kind of out of body vibrational pulsating experience. And I just got this really clear vision of myself doing cacao circles myself, ceremonies back in New Zealand. Which didn't even feel strange at the time. It just felt like it was just a clear picture I saw. So yeah, that was the interest sparked after that night. And it was nice to get to know Kristen and Tanner a bit more while we were there in Mexico. We hung out with them at the beach and got to hear more about cacao and their own journey. We got to spend Christmas Eve with them in their casa, and they gifted us some cacao for Christmas Day. So Christmas Day that year was burritos on the beach with cacao. Awesome. And then I was tempted, actually, after all that, to Google flights to Guatemala, but my path took us to Baja, and I did my yoga teacher training then for a month. And again, I just love that, like, I guess, deep kind of soul connection, heart connection, and gathering in circle and sharing. So I really wanted to incorporate that into my yoga teaching when I got back to New Zealand. So then we arrived back in New Zealand at the start of 2018. And I started teaching yoga. I really feel passionate about helping women, as Rick mentioned, especially pregnant women and also teenage girls. So I started there, and gradually my yoga classes turned more and more into kind of circles. And I started doing circles. The local yoga studio had a cacao ceremony that I went along to, and I was very enthusiastic about it. And they asked me to host the following one. So I was excited and nervous and ordered my Keats cacao, and that was my very first one. So that was like about a year ago, or maybe longer now. And since then, I've been holding cacao ceremonies about once or twice a month. It's been quite a journey exploring it, and even just like ordering cacao to New Zealand's been a bit of a mission. And at the beginning, I didn't have much extra money in the US dollars. Yeah, so I had to kind of explore different options and look at different cacao to use and different shipping costs and all that. But now that I'm quite established, it's just easy to order Keats cacao all the time, so that's cool. And yeah, that's it really. I think I just had a summer of doing cacao ceremonies on the beach here in New Zealand on the East Coast. It's been stunning. Next in April, I'm hosting my very first cacao ceremony for teenage girls, which is really cool. And yeah, I'm just so grateful for the journey, for my own practice with cacao and getting to share with other people. It's just been amazing. And being part of this community is also amazing. So thank you all. And yeah, that's probably a lot. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very, very much. Does anybody have any questions for Ash? Is there anything you'd like to ask her about or know what she's doing? See, is that Simone who would like to ask a question? Simone, do you have a question you'd like to ask? Go right ahead. Maybe not. If you
I'll jump in with something, Rick, if
sure,
there's no one
right
else
ahead.
there. Barbara and I have been blessed here on the porch the last couple of days with a 12-year-old girl who obviously came to the porch with her parents. And during both ceremonies, we put her in front of a number of adults. And she gave those adults a profound upgrade. And everyone else on the porch who accepted it, and that was about 85% of the people there at the same time. So there were a lot of people on the porch with tears, knowing that a child of this kind of energy and magic, completely natural, having no problem at all, a little shy, but no problem at all sitting down in front of an adult and rocking their world. And everybody understood that a being like this would not have come in here and gotten a body if we weren't going to do it on this planet. Yes, it'll take a while. It'll take a couple decades at least. But somebody like this wouldn't have bothered to come here if we were going to mess it up. So all you people working with the cacao spirit and all of the other magical things that have come to you and you're connected with, know that we're going to do it this time. And I hear regularly from other people, other practitioners, people who've been on the porch who now have groups. And a number of them work with a lot of people from 12 and 13 up to 18. And they are absurdly magical, many of them. So you start this, and it will be like the movie. If you build it, they will come. Because those little ones will bring their friends. So I want to tell you a story, okay? My friend Angela, about 6 years ago, came to the porch. She was on a tour. She was burned out. She was a medical doctor. 3 advanced science degrees, graduated at the top of her class from the best medical university in Europe. She ended up on our porch expecting a Mayan shaman, and she ended up with an old hippie in a tie t-shirt. That was her first cacao ceremony. She flew back to Europe, let go of running a 58 million euro project, flew back here to study. She's now no longer an MD. She's doing what we do, what you do, and having a lot of fun doing it. And she works with a lot of young people. So if you start working with young people, I'd be happy to connect you with her. And she'll help you out a little bit because she's got about 3.5 years experience. So I want to tell you a story. I know, we've got a little interruption here. Barbara just came back here to tell me that the entire mountainside above the house is on fire right now, where I live. And it's a very good thing because the forest needs to burn every few years. So it's not an ecological disaster. If you understand the latest understanding from the Forest Service and stuff, we've got a major fire going on up above San Marcos. And it's going to be quite a show tonight. Okay, so I want to tell you a story. So Angela, my friend in Europe, has people sign up on her Facebook page for a ceremony because she's always overbooked and has limited space. So a new person signed up, had heard about it from her friends and wanted to come, and was 16 years old. And so she signed up and she got on public transportation and came and walked to the ceremony place. And came in and immediately went up to Angela and began to apologize. She said, I'm really, really sorry. But a year ago, my little brother kept telling me, find Angela. You have to find Angela for me. That was a year ago. And when my brother heard that I was going to Angela's cacao ceremony, he said, I'm going with you. And he wouldn't take no for an answer. So she brought him. And Angela's pretty good with energies, and she could feel it, and she welcomed them both into the ceremony. So about an hour into the ceremony, the energies went off the charts. And Angela's a very stable person, but they were so big and they increased so fast that she got afraid. And it took a little while to get stabilized. And when she got her energies stabilized, she realized that what was happening was that the little brother was doing it. And the little brother was 4 years old. And he started asking his sister about Angela when he was 3. So this is where things are going, and this is you are invited to. Angela, like us here on the porch, get people who have been put on antidepressants and antipsychotics by the medical profession, people who are cutting themselves, people who have gotten lost in drugs, people who get into the satanic websites, trying to deal with their energies and trying to deal with not being seen and being understood. And your gift is to see them right where they are. They don't have that in their life. They don't have anybody who validates who they are. If you do that, they will not let go of who they are and bury it like we all had to do in our journey. So you are going to have fun. Mm-hmm. It's getting big. It's going to get big all over the world. There are a lot more of these young people. And I want to tell you that there are some higher beings that say that the young ones coming in now are a different species. They're not like us. They're different. And they're already contracted with you. Arrangements are already made on another level. Say yes, and you will meet them. Ready for that shit? Woohoo!
Woo!
Keith, we have a really good question from Simone. She's wanting to know, in dealing with young people, what kind of dosage would you recommend?
With young people, it primarily depends on body weight rather than age. Most adolescents can take a normal dose. A lot of them don't need it because they are at a higher level of sensitivity. So with a person, say less than 18 or 19, I would offer them the option to take a smaller dose the first time. Let them tune in and make their own decision. Literally, trust them to come up with their own knowing and decide what they want to do. Now, for younger people who tend to have a lower body weight, scale it down. I mean, we just served this 12-year-old who was a real tiny little lady a 60% dose. And she was fine. And then she ate a bit of a cacao cookie a little later. So for someone getting down into like the age of 4, we generally serve about a quarter of a dose, maybe a third of a dose if they're a big person. That's a third of a standard ceremonial dose. So tune in yourself. And if you have any doubt at all, err on the lighter side the first time. They can always have a little bit more the next time.
Thank you, Keith. And for those of you who are in question, a ceremonial dose is 42.5 grams or 1.5 ounces. Ash, in what you're programming, first of all, you have to introduce this new person to us.
Oh yeah. So this is my Rainbow Tribe child. This is Ashi. He's 2.5. My little boy.
Hey, Ashi.
Say hi. Say hi, Rick.
Hello.
Hello. And yeah, we had a ceremony with mothers and daughters. So the daughters were ranging from age 8 and up. And we had that as a cacao ceremony. I co-hosted that one. And yeah, I think it would have been like less than half the dose. I made 2 different batches, one for the younger ones and one for the mothers. So.
And I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, go on.
I was going to ask, the ceremony that you've got coming up with young girls, is that a mother and daughter type retreat? Are you working with the mothers to bring in the children? Is that how you're recruiting?
No, that was a previous mother-daughter workshop for bonding together. But this next one is just for teenage girls. Yeah, this is for teenage girls. So just them.
And is this but how are you promoting yourself? I think there's a lot of interest in this category, so to speak, and I think people are probably wondering, how do you get 14, 15, 16-year-old girls interested in something like this?
Yeah, well, I'm drawing a picture. I'm a school teacher, so I have access. I really teach at school, so I have access to kids there, I guess. And also I teach teen yoga, so I've gotten like about 16 girls that come to teen yoga. So through that, and they're coming to my other workshops and circles. And I guess lots of them they follow me on Instagram. They see me always posting about cacao. So when I mention cacao ceremony, they're like, oh, yes. So they're excited to try it, yeah. But I guess just, exposure and that consistency as well that you mentioned probably.
Beautiful. Does anybody else have any questions for Ashley right now? Beautiful. Ash, thank you so much. That was wonderful.
Thank you, guys. Say bye, Ash.
Bye.
We'll put back on mute. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, we are available now to answer any questions you have. There's something going on in your life you want to talk about. There's an element of your business you need help with. Anything at all. Who has questions for me or for Keith specifically?
Yes, I will be answering the business questions and Rick will be answering the consciousness questions.
You are all in trouble. Yeah.
Go for it.
Anybody have any questions at all? Well, oh wait, there's a question. Please ask away.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me well?
Very
Camila,
well.
good. I'm not sure it's a question, but I think it's an opportunity to put something out and ask for advice. It's not a formulated question yet, so bear with me, please. I've just landed back here in Australia, so I'm not quite sure how people is familiar with the kids cacao in here. I'm about to host my first public ceremony here on the 6th of April. And my first one back in Australia here was like in a women's gathering. So I hosted a ceremony for 60 women and was like unbelievable and amazing. And yeah, I had the pleasure to serve the medicine for 5 Indigenous women, initiating them into that. And it was like, I couldn't ask for better initiation back in this land for me. So for now onwards that I'm taking it into the public and offering, my question is like, about targeting, like promoting or bringing attention for the benefits, the potency of the ceremonial grade cacao for the people here. Because there are other ceremonies in here that are different. They're not taking, I'd say that's sacred as I've learned and I've been doing it. Therefore, they're cheaper as well. Because I was working my numbers, how to make the price and getting everything covered. So my advice is, how are you better bring their attention for all that's available?
Well, I can jump in and answer that.
Thank you.
There's a lot of people out there at many different levels. There are a lot of people right here in the town where I live who come here, they want a spiritual experience, but they're not really ready to change anything inside or get in touch with anything inside. Now, those people need teachers who don't have anything to give them, because truly they don't want anything. And that's fine. The teachers here who work at that level are my protection. They keep all of the people, or most of them, who are not ready to change their life out of my ceremonies, because they have someplace else to go to get exactly what they're looking for. I don't have them here on the porch bringing down the energy for all the people that are ready. So close your eyes. There are lots of people out there who don't want what you have. And you don't want them, even as a paying customer, in your ceremonies, because they'll bring the energy down. They won't get it. But there are also lots of other people out there who are looking for what you have. Send right now. Ask your higher self, your guides, to send your energy out, to find those people. Send it out into the entire community, city, region where you are, so that somehow people who are actually looking for what you have, they'll find you somehow. They'll talk to somebody. They'll connect to something. They'll see something and find you. Those are the people you want, because every one of them is going to increase the vibration in your ceremony so that everybody has a deeper, a higher, a more expansive time. Let the other folks go. There are people to take care of them. Everybody gets exactly what they're ready for. There's no exceptions. It's a magical world out there. Let go of the people who are not ready for you and open. Ask your higher self and your guides to send your energy out to the people who are ready
Mm.
for exactly what you offer, and they're actually looking for it. Welcome them. Energetically go on out there and connect to them. They'll find circumstances will happen where they'll connect somehow. Now, next step.
Mm.
Hold your hands out in front of you. Either together or a bit apart on your lap or on the desk, anything that's convenient. And ask your higher self to put into your hands any way that you are in your own way. Any belief system in lack. Oh, you're not allowed to have that many people who want to come to your ceremonies. Oh, you have a little self-sabotage program running. Oh, you are into succeeding at failure rather than having fun. Anything like that. Ask your higher self to put that into your hands so you can bless it and say, hey, thanks for keeping me safe. You know what? I think I'm done with you. But just to make sure, I put you back into my own heart so I can feel what I've asked you to do for me. I can feel the shutdown, the shrinkage in my energy, the density. Put it right back inside and feel it, what it does. And decide for yourself, do you like this? Because it's your choice, no one else's. And if you want to keep it, keep it. We'll love you the same. And if you're ready to let go of it, ask it to come back out in your hands, and more is going to come out. And as your hands fill with it, offer it up. Give it to your angelic level friends, the service level of higher beings, and say, transmute this for me. I think I'm finished with it. And bring it back to me as the high vibration white light that it was made out of originally. I mean, there is only God, Goddess, all that is. So everything must be made out of all that is, out of source and oneness, creation, and divine light. So your friends will take care of it on another level where they can easily do that and bring back to you what belongs with you of your own energy. Now, next, you have a business, and it expresses itself in different ways. And as something that exists, there is a consciousness behind it. Every object, every idea, project, or business has a consciousness behind it. Ask that consciousness to come to you, to gently settle around you as a presence, so you can see it, sense it, feel it in some way. Maybe it'll connect to your heart, maybe your power center, maybe your throat for putting who you are out into the world, all of them. Maybe your crown, because you're such a powerful channel when you are doing your ceremonies and gifting others with what flows through you. Bring energy into you, the being, the consciousness behind the projects that you're having fun with. Now, ask this being to go out into the community and find people who are looking for you. Find people who are ready for what you offer. And trust this multidimensional consciousness, that they can find them and help set up magical circumstances so those people find you. Whether you meet them on the street, whether they talk to somebody, whether they see a post or something you've printed and posted, whatever. And they see that, when they connect to it, the little bell will go off in their heads that says, that's for me. I need to do that. I need to take the effort. I need to contact her. I need to sign up. I need to check it out. What's her phone number? What's her business or Facebook connection or whatever it is? Ask the consciousness behind what you do to go out there and find people so that both of you, both you and the consciousness of what you do, can have a lot more fun. Yes? This being wants to expand, to grow in its own consciousness, in its own development. It needs you for that. And it wants to help you with that. So ask it to go to work for you. Ask it to go out into the universe, all over this planet, and get ideas for you. Will appear right in the middle of your ceremony, and they'll just flow through you, and you'll do something you've never done before, and it will deeply touch everyone there. And 10 minutes later, you won't even remember what you did, because it's not even necessary. It'll be right there the next time you need it, and even more, in the moment. Right there, in the moment. Whatever you need for the group that's in front of you. Now, already, since you have asked a friend to go out there, I want you to feel that there are some ideas, events, probabilities sort of stacked up, queued up in a line, waiting to connect to you. They're already yours. They already belong to you. And you're just going to let them in. I want you to feel them lined up, queued up, stacked up, waiting for you. In your own perfect timing, to let them in, because they already belong to you. They're not going anywhere. They're yours. You own them. You can't lose them. You can pretend you can't connect to them, for sure. But know that they will be connecting to you in exactly the order that your higher self recommends. This partnership with your business spirit, your idea, your project spirit, is a really beautiful way for the magic to flow more easily. Because you're not on your own anymore. You got help. Not only from your guides and higher self, but from the entity, the consciousness, the spirit behind what you do. Now that's a little business shamanistic magic for you there and everybody else.
You get to answer all those questions from now on. That was fabulous. You know, there's only one thing that I would add to that, and that is the physical world element that is key to all of that magic working for you. You must start. You must get out there. Don't be worried. Don't be ashamed if your first ceremony 2 people show up. They will bring 2 more the next time, right? Don't be worried if 50 people show up. It's all going to work itself out. But you must start. You must put it out there and let people know that this is available.
So, Rick?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to tell a short little story about one of the most presently successful people we've ever had on the porch. He's out there running his own school now. His first cacao ceremony, he was so nervous, he didn't say a thing, not one single word the entire ceremony. He served the cacao and everybody sat in complete silence the entire ceremony and thought it was absolutely amazing and couldn't wait until he was going to do the next one.
Unbelievable. Who else has questions for Keith or I tonight? What other things can we talk about or help somebody with? All right. Not the shortest call we've ever done, but not the longest either. Thank you all. Hey, Jasmine, nice to see you. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I have something that's been coming up for me actually recently. So it's kind of multi-dimensional, and it's interesting. So I've been feeling this call for a while, but more so, like more intensely recently, you know, step in and step up. So even just a few days ago, I like stepped through this resistance that I had and made a post on like social media saying, you know, here I am, I'm ready, I'm willing, I'm open to offer, like come and meet me and let's step in. And it feels really good. And I'm noticing, you know, that I feel good with the responses and like continuing to follow through on this commitment that I made to myself. And there's some anxiety that's been arising around, you know, insecurities and am I good enough? And also this situation, this memory, this like of experience in this way that I can feel it in my body and in my heart from my past, gosh, that I haven't tapped into for a decade. I have been tapping into, and a lot of it wrapped into it is this sense of self-respect for what I was doing, and also like this grieving anger, loss of that when I made the decision to walk away from something that I cared about, that I was passionate about, that I had committed to myself to do, and yet I walked away. And so it's been a lot about tapping into this space that I didn't realize had so much wrapped up, that like that almost that like I'd left a piece of myself in, and how it's coming up now as I'm feeling this call to share who I am and be proud of what I have to offer. I'm noticing like the ways that I almost suck the respect out of it to feed this belief system that like I don't know, that I feel like it's a lot of wrapped up into myself when I was like 17, 18, when I walked away from flying.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Hi.
Do you have a blanket, a wrap, or a shawl you can get in a real hurry?
Yes.
Grab one.
Done.
Okay. Put it over your head and hide. And I want you to feel yourself hiding from the world. Oh, that's great. You're even out of view on the screen. And I want you to love the you that learned to hide. With compassion and with all the gratitude you can find. Because she saved you. You had an opportunity to do something. And your higher self said, oh my God, if she does that, she's lost. She won't be available for years. She'll miss the first boat. She'll get a later one, but she wants to be on the first one so she can be a teacher to the people on the second one. And so your higher self had to use a part of you called unworthy, not good enough, succeeding at failure, don't deserve, blah, blah, blah. So that you wouldn't go off in that direction. And instead be a failure. So you'd be available when the higher energies called. You know, I remember in the 1970s, Carlos Castaneda's Don Juan talking about the people he met who had tremendous shamanic potential. But they were important business people. They were important political people. They weren't available. So you hid under your blanket. You failed. You walked away. You ran away according to society. But you were needed for something else. You were needed not to take your talents and your gifts and your magic and turn it into some kind of an executive position, some kind of a important career that paid a lot of money, that would get you to all kinds of stuff, and you wouldn't want to let it go, and you wouldn't be available. So sit up. Welcome back. Thank you for blowing it according to the third dimensional rational mind reality of what a really intelligent, powerful person is supposed to do. Thank you for not getting seduced into that world because you wouldn't be here. Give yourself a great big hug, pat on the back, self-love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If I'd have walked into that world, I wouldn't have gotten out. In time to do what I really came here to do. Yes, I'd have gotten later, but I wouldn't have gotten out in time to be a teacher for the people that I signed up to help. And you already know that you help people that did get into that high-end professional world. And now they're empty and lost. Yes? You're not empty and lost. You're ready for more. So thank you for not being a huge success, having lots and lots of money, probably a family, and being empty and lost. Thank you. Your higher self says, I'm very sorry, but we had to pull the plug on that one. Yeah. So here you are. You are available to the light. You are only interested in being of service to the higher energies through becoming more of yourself. So thank you for not being seduced by the magic and the power and the money and the fame and the fun of where you would have gone. Thank you for being such a big, giant failure. According to the old world. So you'd be open to the new one. You are profoundly gifted, but your gifts are useless if you're not available for them to play. Other people have a different journey. They went off into a success or whatever. They made a lot of money, whatever. That was their journey. But that would have killed you. You'd have suffocated in success. Now here you are, right here, with a huge list of active gifts that haven't quite come together yet into a focus. And now it's time for that.
Mm-hmm.
Haha, one of the San Marcos bombas just went off. A little validation. So relax. It's your time. It's happening. Any way that you're in your way will come up to the surface in a natural, orderly fashion, and you'll transmute it, you'll let it go, whatever you need. You've already put yourself out there in a general way. And you're ready to begin to put yourself out into a more specific way of saying, I offer this. Come and sit with me. Change your life. So I want to tell you a story from back in the 1970s. A friend of mine went to India. And he was staying with a family in a town in India, doing what you do when you're a spiritual traveler and you go to India and you go to the temples and you sit with the monks and you do that stuff. And he got sick. And he was feeling really bad. And the people he lived with, the family he was rooming with, said, oh, well, you go down this street until you get to this sign, and then you turn left, and you go down the little alley. And partway down the alley, you'll see a man sitting on the sidewalk with a little begging bowl in front of him. And right beside him, you'll see a cushion. And you sit down on the cushion. And when you feel better, you put your rupee in the bowl and leave. And he said, well, what will he say to me? And they said, he doesn't say anything. And he said, well, what will he do with me? And his family said, we don't know what he does, but you'll be a different person when you get up and leave. So he did that. He walked down the street and he saw the sign and he went down the alley and there was the guy sitting on the sidewalk with his begging bowl with a little cushion next to him, and he sat down on the cushion and just quieted himself down and did whatever he thought he could do with meditation and whatever, and wondered what the fuck was going on. And 10 minutes later, he felt totally different. He stood up, he put his rupee in the bowl, and he left. Now that is how that healer worked. In his own style, in his own way. He said nothing. He didn't touch anyone. He didn't do anything. And when he said, when he walked away, another person came and sat down. So you have a way that you work that brings together every single gift and every single experience in your entire life. And that gift is trying to be born through you right now. Trying to come into this world so it can grow and develop and get lots and lots of hugs from you and everyone. So give it permission to be born. I'm ready. I didn't get lost in the trap of success and fun and career and magic, and would have been amazing, but it wouldn't have been me. Somebody else, yes. You, no. Now, with your eyes closed, everybody can do this, look off into the distance, into a fog, a cloud, a mist. And out of the mist steps your future self 7 or 8 years from now, when we're on the other side of the planetary chaos we're just beginning to go through. 7 or 8 years older than you. You're you. from your highest probable future, most fun, most love, most power, most service, most joy. And walks toward you, if you wish. Do you like them? Are they having that fun? Are they full of that love? Now, as your future, they wants you. So they know how you did it, and they know that you can. Because in that future, they did do it. So meet them and feel their gratitude for you. Because if you hadn't run away from this job, if you hadn't done what you've already done, they could not be who they are. So feel their gratitude. You, what you've already done, made it possible for them to be who they are. They wouldn't exist without you. And ask them for a gift or two for you and your now. Ask them for some seeds to the next birth of your magic. Because they did it. They know how you did it. And they trust that you will do it. So sit with them. Dance with them. Play with them. Let them energetically share with you just what you need right here, right now. And reach out and take their hand. Connect with them. Consciously choose to align with that future. Out of all the probabilities, choose to align with your highest future. Take your hand. Connect your hearts. Imagine yourself gently pulling your energy out of some other future and handing it to her or to him, as the case may be. And let yourself be filled with the light they are so familiar with, they use in their work, they share, and they bless this reality with. And then say goodbye, knowing that you can meet and connect at any time. They'll come. They'll help you, whether you're stuck or not. And let them return to their now, your future, while you keep the gifts and the knowing. As so many higher beings say, this is a done deal. It has already happened. We're just going to play it out in time because we've got this funny thing called yesterday, today, and tomorrow down here. So we got to play it out. And it's going to take a while. And it's going to be a very wild ride, but it is a done deal. And you are one of these people who have such a giant basket of gifts that your problem is you have no idea what to do with all of that. Yes?
Sometimes, yes.
Trust your timing. Trust the divinity and the alignment of your own journey.
I do.
You felt your future self. She didn't come to you, oh my God, Jasmine, you're blowing it. You're not going to make it. You're in grave danger. She wasn't there, was she?
No.
Oh, Jasmine, you better get yourself straightened out. Nah. Trust your process. You're a little confused right now as to where to go, yes? As to what to do.
Sometimes.
All right. Would you like to know why?
Yes.
That is part of you that you don't love. You don't even like it. You don't like yourself when you're in that energy.
The confused energy.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
And that energy has a message for you. I'm not leaving until you get the love upgrade I'm here to give you. Sooner or later, you're going to love the you that gets confused. Embrace her, accept her, love her, and have immense compassion and acceptance for her. Because it's actually very simple. You are not stupid. You're not going to let yourself have your power until you have your loving, compassionate acceptance. So you've given yourself something. So you can find loving, compassionate acceptance because you don't love and accept it. You don't love and accept this you. And it's not leaving until you do. Because you asked it to make sure it got you to the next level of love. And then you'll naturally open your power and everything will come into alignment. This self-love for right here, right now. That's what you're doing. That's what you are. And that will take you to the next level. Because all this stuff that's wrong with you is not leaving because you asked it to not leave until you find the love. Because you don't want your power without the love. You're not stupid. So thank you.
Thank you.
Boop, boop, boop. El Señor Rick.
Thank you, Keith. Does anybody else have any questions for us tonight? Is there anything else you'd like to talk about or bring up?
I've got something to share with Keith.
Elle, go right ahead.
Hey Keith, it's just something I felt excited to share with you. It's not really a question, but we had a beautiful ceremony on Sunday over here in Canada. And on my way to work, where I work as a conscious channel, at 11 a.m., we're in a car driving through this beautiful forest land, and my friends in the car say, "What's that about? This number had a number plate ahead. It's 1111 on it. What's the KW part about?" And I just laughed because I said, "That's Keith Wilson, the cacao shaman, 1111 and 1111." So I just wanted to share that with you, and it was a beautiful, magical ceremony. And
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, and they're using your cacao too. So, and we spoke about our time with you and your story of cacao and how you found the particular type of cacao that you use and how you process it. So we're excited to do more over here on the coast, and we're ready to go.
Wow. Well, I hear from a lot of people that I do get around.
Yeah, you do. You're a traveler. You're also on the cosmic telephone, so it's great. Thank you for being there.
Yes. You're most
It's
welcome
wonderful.
to buzz in anytime.
Beautiful. All right, I'll let someone else take the space.
Thank you, Elspeth.
Thank you so much, Keith. You're amazing. Lots of love.
Do we have any other questions this evening or comments, something you want to talk about? Monique,
Oh, go for it.
I can't unmute you. Oh, there we go.
Is that better?
There we go. Can you hear us?
I had also muted myself. That just kind of prompted a question for me. So I've been hosting a couple of private cacao ceremonies, and I do a really lovely breath work with it, which is really powerful. So people are having all these incredible experiences, and it's really magical and uplifting. But I suppose a challenge for me in that is people then turn to me and ask what's going on. And I don't know. You're doing all the work. I'm just here holding space for you. Do you have any other advice on how to respond to people? Because I feel like I'm holding space with love, and but people kind of look at me like I'm some kind of medium.
Well, get over it.
Okay.
You are.
Thank you.
You're at the end of whole space. You, all the other people on this call, lots of us here, are not space holders anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the last year, we're finishing with being a space holder. You're now a light emanator, light radiator, a light transmitter. Close your eyes. Ask your higher self, your unseen friends, whoever you like, to show you that you transmit higher dimensional frequencies, vibrations, resonances. Most of it comes right out of your heart and your high heart. Some from your third eye, some from your hands. And you can feel your hands activating now, I believe, yes? Letting you know that they're part of this transmission channel from your heart, down your arms, right out your hands. Yes, people are looking for something for their rational mind because that's what they know at this stage of the game. But there's nothing you can tell them at that level that is going to change their life. this that flows through you from oneness, from source, from the fifth dimension, from God Goddess, is what changes people's lives. If they accept it, yes. You being there and developing trust with them and showing them higher consciousness is the best thing you can do to help them accept what comes through you. All they're being say, healing isn't doing, it is access. It's access to the resonances, vibrations, and frequencies that connect to the belief systems, help people change the decisions they're making inside, so their life changes. You're no longer just holding space. You're overflowing with divine light, divine potential. In your own absolutely unique way, just like everyone has their own way. And you're very good at it. You're a channel. You're looking for words. And basically your higher self is saying, nope, no words. Get lost. You get sidetracked and you'll slow yourself down. So no words right now. Yeah, the words will come. Don't worry about it. Right now, you need trust. So let's have a little with trust. This is a Bashar thing. Hold your two hands out, separated a little bit or a whole lot, whatever. And on one hand, put, I can't trust. It's not safe to trust. I don't have trust. I'll get in trouble if I trust. And on the other hand, put, I trust that I can trust. I trust that it's safe to trust. And when I let that trust flow through me, the highest good manifests. Now take some of the trust, because the Bashar's idea is that we all trust as much as we ever will. It's just a bunch of it is over there on that side where I trust that I don't trust, I shouldn't trust, I can't trust, it's not safe to trust. So take some of that trust in that hand and bring it over and pour a little bit of that trust into the hand that is, it's safe to trust, I can trust, I do trust, it's easy to trust, and I love my trusting self. We'll just pour a little bit of it over there and do more later after it integrates. And this beautiful energy out of this energy, you're going to increasingly connect to a lot of people these days are calling the fifth dimension. The Buddhists call it the void. The Hindus call it nothingness or no thingness. The old shamans call it clarity. And the Zen Buddhists, when you fully live here, call it conditional enlightenment, sitting on top of the 100-foot pole. The view is incredible. You see and you know everything. And as a child, you learn to disconnect from your knowing. Your parents were arguing. You knew what was really going on. And you bled. It came out of your mouth and you got in trouble because parents do not like the mask being lifted up. And so you shut it down. And it's ready to open now. You're ready to have insights and knowing that come from the void, from nowhere, from the fifth dimension. You don't get them. They don't come to you. They're just instantly there. A number of people on this call have these insights, and they immediately pull out their magic eraser and pretend they didn't have them. So they don't tell somebody what they know because they got in trouble for it. And first, these knowings will start to come through you, and you'll start sharing them. And you'll build trust by going there and experiencing it yourself. Next, you'll be able to trust that if you don't know something, you don't need to know it. Something else must be happening. This will happen at your own pace in a way that works for you. And you will begin to be able to say something in just the words that that person would need to reach them where they are. There's another technique that you can use. I highly recommend it. When people ask you something, it actually doesn't matter if you don't know the answer. Trust that if you don't know the answer, you're not supposed to have it. Because if you gave it to them, you'd actually disempower them. What if you asked a leading question to help them get in touch with the answer that you know they have? You know they know the answer to their own question because it's a two-sided coin. If they have a question, they have the answer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So ask them leading questions to help them find the answer to their question. Help them discover that they do know. Now, about 2 weeks ago, there was a couple in ceremony, and the lady had something going on, and she asked me what the answer was. And I said, you know what the answer is. I'm not being given the answer because actually you don't really want to know what the answer is. You think you do, but the energy that doesn't want to know is greater. And so she insisted she wanted to know, and she insisted she needed help. And we talked with her and got her to ask a few leading questions and got her to go deeper. And all of a sudden she said the answer. And about a third of the people on the porch went, oh. They knew that she just came out with the answer. She didn't realize she just answered her own question. It was very deep and very profound and very, very simple and direct. She got to the bottom of it. She knew. And I pointed it out and told her you just said, this is what you said. This is the answer to your question. And within 3 minutes, she'd walked out of the ceremony. She didn't really want to know. And when faced with it, she ran, which is fine. So, ask leading questions to help someone empower themselves and discover that they do have the answers within. All right?
Mm-hmm. Can do.
If you start there will be times you will get the answer instantly exactly what they need in the exact phrasing that they need to receive it. Poof, and there it'll be. Back to you, Red. Or, well, let me go back. Does that answer what you were asking?
Yes, it does.
All right.
It just really illuminates actually my my fear to do that, rather than just trust and allow that to come through me, or lead the quest, empower them and let them do it themselves.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
the question came from like being guarded, and it's just letting go of that.
Yes. And love the you. Go find that inner child who was trained that the truth gets her in trouble. How old is she? How old is she? You know.
Three.
See, I'm doing it with you now.
Yeah.
You know. How old is she?
3.
Yes. And where do you keep her in your body?
She's down here.
Yes, she is. So you've got your magical 3-year-old, the magical inner child, in a prison, stuffed down in your lower body so you don't have to pay any attention to her. And if you don't want to know what she has to tell you, you probably aren't going to know what other people need to know either, right?
Right.
So go on down, open the prison door, sit down in the doorway and say, hey, guess what? I'm just discovering what I've been doing to you, and I think I might need your help in changing a few things. And find out, is she afraid of you? Has she been waiting for you? Or anything in between? Oh, yeah. She knows who you are, and she's been waiting for this moment. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. She knows why she had to shut down and do what she did. She knows why she's been in a prison down there. So give her a big hug and lots of love. And again, tell her, we're going to do this together because you are not her parent. You're not to be her parent. It can be like big you and little you, big and little sister, something like that, but you're not to be her parent. So take her hand and ask her if she'd like to come back to the place in your heart that the inner child belongs. Is she ready? You know, and if she's not ready, you're going to work with her right where she is, connecting with her until she is ready. Feels to me like she's ready, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to go up and take her into this space in your heart chakra that's designed for her. It's her space. And let her take a look at it. And now come back out and look down with her into your lower belly and call in your higher self and say, higher self, dematerialize the prison so this little lady knows she's not going back there because there is no place to go back to. Oh, yeah. Now, go on back into the place in your heart where she belongs. And I want you to notice that this place has a back door. And the back door goes out into a magic meadow full of wildflowers, creatures to play with, hummingbirds and butterflies. And in the meadow, perhaps sitting on a rock under a tree, is your higher self. And she can go out the back door, it's not locked, anytime she wants, and play. And when she wants, she can go sit with your higher self and get any healing and any training as your magical child that she needs. And if you would like a meditation to use over the next weeks, months, I suggest this one. Go get her. Hold her hand, you can do it right now, and say, take me. You are the one who was there when I started shutting down. Accepting the consensus reality, forgetting the illuminated being that I came in as. So you know how I shut down. So I'm going to take your hand. I'm going to ask you, would you please take me to some place in my inner energy anatomy where I unplugged something, blocked something, hid something, buried it, pushed it out of me into another dimension where it's been taken care of by other levels of my being, but I don't have it. Take me somewhere. Maybe it's a memory. Maybe it's a gift that I put in a little box. Take me somewhere. And together we'll figure out what it is. Now, the inner child can't change anything, but you can. So she is going to be your guide. She's going to take you where you can find something that you're ready to open or let go of or bring back or whatever. And together you'll figure out what that is, and then you can call your higher self and your friends in and do it. All right? Where's she taking you?
Yeah. It's hollow and makes my throat very sore.
All right. So what do you need to do there?
It's my grandma, and I've asked her to give it back.
Beautiful. And your higher self will help with this. And, oh, here it comes now. Gently at first, so you decide for yourself if you want to reintegrate this or not. This piece of your magic that she held for you. And most likely the integration with this will continue even in the dream time tonight. Now, I've got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is she really happy and joyous to be able to do this with you?
Yeah.
Is it her idea of fun?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Okay.
Thank you very much.
We good?
Mm.
Beautiful. Mr. Rick.
Mr. Keith, thank you very much. That was Fabulous. We got just a little bit more time. If anybody has one last question, comment. If not, I was going to complain about it almost being my bedtime, but Corrine was on the phone from France, and it's like 2:30 in the morning there right now. So it's been a really lovely call. Thank you all for being here very much. Keith, thank you as always for joining us. I'm so excited to see what we make of these things that we've learned today. If anybody has any questions for us, let us know via the Facebook group or just send me an email. As always, practitioner_support@keithscacao.com if you ever need any actual support beyond just talking about stuff. Everybody have, oh, Ash, thank you so much. We appreciate it, really do. Everybody have a wonderful day, good night, whatever it may be.
Good morning.
Good morning, sure. We'll talk to you all again very, very soon. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Thank you all. Bless everyone.